Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year to you. I hope that everybody had an amazing holiday season. Whatever you were celebrating, I hope it was awesome and you had lots of good time with family and rest and all that kind of stuff. I had a great holiday, but then things got crazy because I had to finish my book. That week between Christmas and New Year, basically just I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my name was. I didn't know what day it was. I didn't know anything. If you follow me on Instagram, then you saw my horrible photos of myself just like basically living in the same pajamas for like 3 days in a row, unshowered, disgusting. It's, you know, it's not glamorous. It's not glamorous. More will be coming on that front, but that is what I have been doing. So today's video though, I thought would be kind of fun to just sit down. I've got my coffee. I want to chat with you guys about 2018. Some of the things that were just big things for me and that were special and that I enjoyed and memories that stick out and stuff from the year. As well as I'm going to share with you guys some of my intentions for 2019. I know everybody gets like squirrely about resolutions and goals and things like that and how you word it. Like whatever, word it how you want. For me, I like to consider these things as my intentions for the year, the things that I really want to work on and I want to do, but I don't know. That's what I call it. Call it what you want. The next like 2 weeks over on This Gathered Nest are going to be full of major news and announcements and big exciting things. So if you don't follow our family vlog channel, you might want to do that. I will be sharing stuff here too, but just saying. Okay. And then of course, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. What was like the best thing that happened to you in 2018? What are you looking forward to in 2019? If you want to share like what any of your goals or intentions or resolutions are, I would love to hear all about them. I love getting to know you guys, and I feel like when you tell me in the comments what's going on with you and things in your life, then I feel like we're having a conversation. It's not just me talking at you. 2018 was kind of a crazy, big, busy year. We had some really fun things happen. If you've watched our vlog channel, then you'll know that we actually ended up getting a like 2-page feature in People magazine, which is kind of a big deal, I feel like, especially because it wasn't just like a little side article. It was like a full like feature. And I just have to tell you that funnily enough, when Patrick, the guy who wrote the article, first emailed me, I legit was like, oh, this is just spam. This is just a joke. If you have a YouTube channel, then you know you often get like random, very spammy emails or like, you know, brands that want you to do stuff, and it's all just fake. So I read that and I was like, oh yeah, okay, People magazine wants to write an article about us. Okay, sure. And I literally deleted the email. And I think it was like a month or a month and a half later, he wrote me back again and he said, hey, I'm just following up here. We'd really like to feature, you know, this article about your family. Are you interested? And I was like, okay, so maybe this isn't a joke, because usually people who are doing spammy stuff don't waste their time, you know, going after people who aren't showing any interest. So I like Googled his name. I went and did like a search to see if he was really a writer for People magazine. And then when I found out that he was, and I read like some of the other articles he'd written and stuff, I was like, oh shoot. So anyways, it all came from that. But I just thought that was funny that the first time he emailed me, I was like, oh yeah, okay, sure, and deleted it. But yeah, so we had this feature in People magazine this year, which was a really big deal for us. And then we were reached out to by the Today Show, and they came out and filmed a segment about our family. I think that video has, I want to say like 13 or 14 million views on Facebook. Like, I'll put a link to this stuff down below if you guys weren't following us and didn't know about it and you want to check it out. It's things like that that are like, there were just some really big things like that happened this year. Alex and Ani reached out to me and wanted to name me one of their warriors, Alex and Ani Warriors of the Soul. And so I got to like sort of curate a small little collection with Alex and Ani. And that was amazing and fun. And again, I have a slightly funny story because it's such a dad thing. So when my parents were here at Christmas, my dad told me that when he was at the mall shopping, he went into one of the jewelry stores that has like a big sign that says they carry Alex and Ani. So he went up to the guy working there and was like, do you guys have any of the Warrior collection from Alex and Ani? And the guy was like, oh yeah, we've got a few pieces left. My dad was specifically looking for some of the elephant pieces for my mom. And the guy like pulled out a few things they had left, and then he started telling him all about the collection. You know, telling my dad like, oh, this is the warrior collection. This was created around some like powerful women that Alex and Ani felt like were these warriors of the soul. And my dad like smirk across his face is like, I know, my daughter was one of them. And the guy was like, oh, really? And he's telling me the story, and I'm like, that is such a dad thing to do, to go into a store and not just like, I mean, just ask him like, oh, do you have? And then be like, that's my daughter. I thought it was very sweet and also very funny and such a dad thing to do. In mommyhood news, the twins turned 1 this year. I was very proud of myself for surviving the first year with twins. In some ways it was harder than I expected, and in other ways it wasn't as hard as I was prepared for. So that felt like an accomplishment in my motherhood. And, you know, we got to do a lot of really fun traveling this year. We went to Florida twice. We got to go down to Orlando and stay in Encore Resorts and take the kids to Disney for just 1 day. We'd really like to go back for longer. I took the girls to Kentucky and they got to go to Briarfest. I went to California twice this year. Yeah, I went to California twice this year, once in the spring for Rise Conference. And then I also got to go back in the fall to do a campaign with JCPenney. So I got to do some little fun travel like that. We went to the mountains. We went and stayed in the cabin in Gatlinburg. And then we also ended up going back to 30A in Florida, and we had a blast there. We definitely will be going back. So for me, like personally, some of those things were really great accomplishments for me, and sort of fun things that, you know, don't come about every day and won't come about every year, but were really amazing. I finished writing my book in 2018, which is a huge, huge deal because that process was well over a year in the making, actually about 1.5 years in the making. I'm excited to share with you guys where all that is going. I'll be able to share that with you really soon. But I do also want to do a video in a few weeks. I'll be able to do a video, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to you about the entire process a little bit, because I know there's a lot of people out there who want to write books, and I want to share with you guys the good and the bad. Some of the awesome things, but also some of the really hard things that I just didn't know about writing a book, and that I had to learn the hard way because I mean, I've shared this before, but you know, I sent my sample stuff to a publisher last year and was told no. So, yeah, anyways, I want to share all of that with you guys and the whole story and everything, so that there's so much more to these things, and I don't just want to be like, oh, I wrote a book, and then not share all of the fact that it was very like roller coastery the whole time. So I want to share all of that. You know, 2018 brought some, like I said, this is my personal channel, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about myself here. I'm not going to share so much family stuff. We are actually putting up a video on our family channel. We're going to talk about some of the highlights like for our family specifically, but this is really for me like personal type things. So yeah, that's kind of, I just want to make sure that I'm clear there, that like I'm not talking about certain milestones and stuff with the kids necessarily on this channel. But anyways, for 2019, I am excited. My phone is ringing. I do not need a rug. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling. We have always enjoyed travel, but it's been something that obviously with a lot of kids and stuff is not easy to do. So we do have some fun trips planned. Ciara and I are going to Paris in March. Again, like that's kind of a weird backward story how that ended up happening. It wasn't like a let's go to Paris and we booked a trip. It was like a we need to use these tickets or we lose the money. So we were like, where should we go? So anyways, that's how that came to be. But we're going to go to Paris in March, and it will be for Christopher's 35th birthday. I'm very excited about that. As most of you guys know, we did not really get a honeymoon or anything like that. We got married very young. We started having kids very young, and we didn't do a lot of like traveling together or doing things like that. So when we get the opportunity, we jump on it. We love traveling with our kids and family, but we also love traveling just the two of us. So we've had some really good adventures just together, and I'm excited to go to Paris with him. So that's what we're going to be doing in March. We also are hoping to begin our traveling journey. We are on the hunt for a camper that will work for our family, like a pull behind type camper that will work for a family our size. We think we found what we want, and we are going to start kind of traveling a lot more around the United States. and staying in that camper and staying in campgrounds and taking the kids to see some of just the many beautiful and amazing sights and things that are available to us here just in the United States. So that's what one of our big goals is for the year, is to do a ton more traveling. Most of that content will all live over on this Gathered Nest if you are interested in like that kind of travel stuff. Although I'm sure I'll do recaps and other types of videos and stuff like that here. I am going to share with you guys some of my personal goals for 2019 and just some of the things that I want to happen and that I want to work towards and that I want to like set my intentions for. I do want to show you guys really quickly because you guys know that I am obsessed with my Hobonichi. So I am a planner girl. I'm a pen and paper planner girl, and I have tried everything from like a bullet journal style, and I have like all of these markers and things like that that I use for Bible journaling, and I set up a whole bullet journal and I use it from time to time, but I just am not good at sitting down every day and updating a bullet journal. And I also have realized that I like to be artsy fartsy when I feel like being artsy fartsy, but it's not all the time. Sometimes I just need to write this down. I just need to organize my thoughts. And I'm not so froofy with it. I don't necessarily care about stickers and washi tape and designs and things like that. Like, I want to do that stuff when I want to do it just for fun. God, I sound like Ryan from The Office. Lead me when I am in the mood to be led. But that's kind of how I feel about like being artsy fartsy with planners. So I ended up this year, I've watched and loved the channel Project Happy Home. She is a doll and she uses a Hobonichi, and when I saw it I thought, well, that seems really basic, but then I was also kind of drawn to that. And I'm the person that like doesn't finish a planner and buys a new one because I just keep thinking like, well, that looks better and that looks better. This is the first time that I've used a complete planner, never had any desire to change it or do anything different, and I even went and ordered a new one for myself. So this is a traveler's notebook that I got from Etsy. It's like from a specialty shop called Naya. I'll leave it linked down below. It was kind of expensive and I waited a really long time for it, which is fine. I mean, she says on her website that they take a long time, but then I ordered it and I wanted a gold thing, and like right before it shipped, she was like, sorry, I don't have gold. And I'm like, that's half of the reason I ordered from you, is because I wanted the gold stuff. But it's fine. It has like a little pin holder here. And if you know, with traveler's notebooks, they have these little elastics, and you slide the notebooks in through the elastics. So this is my traveler's notebook, and I ordered a little arrowhead charm to go off the top there. This is my traveler's notebook. In my house, we refer to this entire entity as my Hobonichi. So my husband knows when I bring this out, like if we're sitting down to have a conversation and I bring this out, it's about to go down. Like, ish is about to get real when Angie brings out the Hobonichi. So inside of it, I just have like a bunch of papers and crap at the front, but I have my Hobonichi Techno Cousin size planner right there. And then I also have just one of these notebooks from Target, and I use this in a bullet journal style. Where I have little sections separated and I write in it. I just don't like draw, color, or get fancy. I literally just make lists and things like that. So I'll make like a list of video ideas. And then like before I filmed my twin pregnancy video thing, I wrote down everything I wanted to, like the points I wanted to make. Like I use this as like a notes and that kind of thing. I also have a section in the back that I use for budgeting, and as a budgeting, like everything is in here. If I need to make a grocery list, if I need to take notes from a call for work, like if I'm going to work with a brand and we have a call to talk about things, I'll take notes. All of that lives in this notebook. And then my Hobonichi acts as my planner, and it has a monthly layout, a weekly layout, and a daily layout for every day. I use the monthly for like a month at a glance, and then I use the daily sheets. So these, it's just like, I don't know. You can get closer looks of it on the website. I have so much like uber personal information in there that I find it would be really hard for me to like show you guys close up without like sharing way too much personal stuff with you. But I'm really excited because I just got, and I haven't even like really opened it yet, I just got my new 2019 Hobonichi, and I love, send you these pens and also an angry bear charm. In case you didn't gather from the name, Hobonichi is a Japanese company, so inside the planner, things are written in English and also in Japanese. My box came with this very like angry looking bear. He looks like he wants to bite your head off. I don't know, I don't care. They also give you a pen, and the last pen they sent was bright yellow, and while I liked it, like as far as how it wrote and stuff, I didn't care for the bright yellow color. That wasn't really my jam. But this one is white with like a little bit of almost like a millennial pink right here, and it's just got black, blue, and red that you push down. You know, we all loved these pens in like junior high. And now I can love them again as an adult. So it's great. It writes really nicely on the paper because Hobonichi paper is very thin. It's definitely not for everybody. It's not the same kind of traditional notebook that you would find in Target, or like, you know, it's not one of the like simplified planners or Erin Condren planners. It's very different from those. So if you're into the artsy fartsy bit of planners, then you probably won't like this. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Let me see if I can show you guys close up. So you have like your month, and the weeks actually start on a Monday on this planner, which I really like and find totally helpful. I just use like little sticky tabs so that I can easily flip to the month and the month that we're on, as well as the today section that we're on. And in the beginning, I was using this to also track the kids. This is not meant to be a planner video, and I'm like selling you guys hard on this Hobonichi. Sorry. At the beginning, I was also using it to plan for, like, not plan, but to keep track of the kids' homeschool stuff. Like I was writing down, you guys know that's how I do it. Like I write down what we accomplished for the day instead of like planning out ahead of time necessarily, because things change often. So I write down more what we accomplished, what the kids got through, lessons and all that kind of stuff. I was doing that all in here, but honestly it just got to be too much to have my personal stuff, my business stuff, and the kids' homeschool stuff all in there. So I do have a separate planner. I bought the Good and the Beautiful's planner when they released it. I think it's sold out now, but like right when they released their new planner, I bought that one, and that's what I track all the kids' homeschool stuff in, is the Good and the Beautiful planner. This is just for me personally, business, and more like family related stuff. So I'm very excited to switch out for my 2019 Hobonichi. Anyways, okay, so let's talk. Were you guys even prepared that this was going to be the longest video on the planet? This is what happens when I don't sit down and talk to you guys for a while. I feel like I'm getting coffee with a friend and we have to just like catch up on all the things. So that's what we're doing. Okay, let me share with you some of my goals. Is to read even more books. Last year I read a bunch of self-help books, and then towards the end of the year I started dwindling off as I was trying to finish my own book. I found myself like avoiding reading any kind of book that might affect how I was writing mine, and I don't know if maybe you're the same way, if you have ever written a book before, that I just had a hard time, like I needed to not read other authors' material so that I could finish mine. And not have it sway me. So I'm really excited. I have an entire stack of books to read. I just have so many good books to read that I've purchased and have literally just been like waiting for me. So I think I may do another video in the next couple weeks and share with you guys what some of those books are that are on my read list for the year. I don't know, with, you know, all the plans we have, you know, last year it was like my goal was to read 4 books a month. I don't know that I'll be able to do that this year, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to share those with you guys in a separate video because I think some of them are going to be really good books, and I think y'all would probably enjoy them too. And then of course, one of the things that I really struggle with, and I know I've shared this with you guys before, is my response time to text messages, phone calls, and emails. I'm pretty good when it comes to work stuff. I'm pretty good at responding fairly quickly. I'm not always great, but I do my best to respond fairly quickly. But with personal text messages and emails and things like that, it's just, I'm that person who either says I'll read it later and then forgets, or reads it and thinks I'll respond to it later and then forgets. And so I really want to work on that, especially with us traveling and stuff some more this year. I want to be able to to keep my friendships healthy and strong, and when I won't be able to see people in person for maybe a month or two at a time, I want to be better at keeping in touch via text message and things like that, Marco Polo, email, all that stuff. I want to take more photos of the kids with my big camera. That's a goal for me every year. As someone who spent years and years as a photographer, I have so few good photos of my kids, and it makes me bananas. I just am like, whip out the iPhone, get a quick photo, and be done with it. But I really this year, especially with our travels, want to be better about pulling out my big camera and taking really good pictures of the kids that can be printed or framed or all that kind of stuff. The other thing I'm going to try, and I'll share with you guys as well, is I'm going to start doing the 5 a.m. miracle morning. So I think I'll do a video update for you guys. I'll do it for a few weeks and let you know how it goes. That's just something that, with so many kids and a busy life, finding time for myself, it sometimes has to be carved out of places that you might rather be in bed sleeping, but I need to get in the habit of going to bed earlier so that I can wake earlier. I'm so much more productive when I do that. My days go by so much better. I'm in a better mood. It's really hard to get up before my kids because the boys specifically, it's like they don't sleep. I don't know. On Christmas, they came in our room at like 3 a.m. and we're like, let's go. No. So they wake up really early. So in order for me to be able to get up before them, I basically need to be getting up at 5 a.m. So that's one of my goals, is to try that out, see how I like it, and hopefully keep up with it. And then also just creating more margin. You guys know I talk about this a lot. It's just something that for me, I am what I call like a recovering hustler. I'm the kind of person that is like, oh, I want that, let's do this, and I'm gonna work really hard, and I'm gonna, you know, I am a hard worker, and sometimes that translates to overworking and working too much and putting too much on my plate and finding that I have no margin. And so finding that margin, not even finding it, creating it, because you're not going to find it. It's not lost. You're just not doing the things you need to do to have it, is the case most of the time. So that's what I want to do, is say no to things a little bit more, and yes to the things that really fill me up and make me happy. I just want to slow down a little bit and savor things. Time is going by so fast. The kids are growing up so fast. Kennedy's about to turn 12. And like the thought that in really like 6 to 7 years, she could be leaving, if that's, you know, her path is to go somewhere else, to go to college or something like that. Like she could be leaving our house in as little as 6 years. And I can't even like wrap my head around that. So I want to be better about not being so busy and not having such a full life. That's the other thing too, is like I want to reframe it, instead of constantly saying busy, because I do feel like that glorifies busy a little bit. I want people to know that, like, yes, I have a full life. I have a lot on my plate and I have a very full life. But I think when you say busy, people associate that with like, oh, you're just busy, you know? And that's not necessarily the message I'm trying to convey. So, and the last thing, one of the things that I really want to work on this year is building a classic wardrobe, not necessarily like a capsule wardrobe, but focusing more on classic pieces in my wardrobe, and tailoring it down. I think that if I have more of a defined style, then it will be easier for me to just say like, that's cute and I like it, but it's really trendy and it doesn't really fit in my wardrobe, so I don't need it. Again, I know this is totally stupid and completely first world problem, but I want to do that. I want to make it easier for me to get dressed, to just be like, okay, this is the type of thing that I wear. This is the piece that I wear. And I have for a long time been really bad at buying more of the cheap crap because it's cheap, and less of the quality pieces because I balk at the sticker price, right? But not recognizing that like spending a few $100s on a really nice wool coat is way better than buying 4 or 5 different coats over the course of 2 years from Old Navy and Target that are just gonna fall apart and are super trendy, so I'll only wear them this season, and then next season something else is in, and so I don't wear that anymore. I just want to build more of a classic wardrobe. I also want, there's certain areas of my wardrobe that I want to make a little more mature. Again, everyone has to do what they like. I just know that I have always liked and been drawn to very like classy, sophisticated styles. I'm turning 35 this year. I've got a lot of different things happening business-wise and stuff like that, and I just want to dress in a little more of a mature way than maybe sometimes I have in the past. I want to dress in a way that makes me feel really good and put together. And yeah, at the end of the day, like if grunge is what makes you feel really good, then that's what you should wear. But for me, like I said, kind of a classic, sophisticated style is what makes me feel really confident, and it's what I've always been drawn to ever since I was a teenager. There is a very definitive look that I have always loved ever since I was a teenager. And for a long time, I felt like I shouldn't dress like that because I'm not old enough. I'm too young to dress like that. So I didn't. And now I'm like, girlfriend, you're turning 35. You're not old, but you definitely at any point could have dressed like that. But there's no reason that you can't. Like, wear what you like, wear what makes you feel really good and confident, and worry less about what's trendy, what bloggers are wearing, and like that kind of thing. If you guys are interested, maybe I can do a video later, like pulling together some different looks and showing you like sort of my version of a classic wardrobe, especially for a mom who's not going to be wearing like black high heels and a blazer every day. There's other ways to kind of have a classic look without necessarily feeling like you have to dress like that every day. So anyways, I'll share that if you guys want to, but this video has gotten crazy long. My entire family is waiting for me because we are going to IKEA. We've got to get a few dressers so that we can start my favorite thing of the new year, which is throwing out stuff, organizing stuff, making donation piles bigger than our cars, and just getting rid of all the crap. And it's been a slow process that we've been working on in our house because this is a old house with lots of storage and dormers and hiding places for crap. And I have been a long time hoarder, and I am working on that and have gotten so much better. So I've been very cutthroat getting rid of stuff and reorganizing, and that's what we're working on in here and all over the house. So got to go to IKEA to get a few things. I hear them downstairs just chomping at the bit. They're ready to go. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this incredibly long and chatty video. If you made it all the way to the end, honestly, I don't know what to say other than I love you to pieces, because that was a long time to listen to me talk. So anyhow, I will see you guys again on Sunday. My goal is to upload videos on this channel on Wednesday and Sunday, with maybe an occasional one mixed in, but Wednesdays and Sundays are my upload days for this channel. That's the plan. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys back here on Sunday. Bye.